In this video, I want to talk about the video production software that I use and also the music licensing that I use for all the stuff I put out on YouTube. So stick around. So I've put about 125 videos up on YouTube so far, and I've learned a few things about video production, about audio, about music licensing. So let's get into it. So I used to be a big fan of Adobe. I used to have the Adobe Creative Cloud Photography package, which included a few things, but primarily Lightroom and Photoshop. Now what Lightroom is used for is really color correction, really sharpening of your image. The Photoshop was used primarily for layering image, so I can create banners, so I can create thumbnails and things like that. Now both of those did an excellent job. Adobe puts out some of the best software around for image processing and video processing. But I was paying 10 bucks a month for it, and it was a lot of stuff. It's really built for professionals, and I'm more of a hobbyist. And so I started thinking, well, since I'm decluttering my life, I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff in my house that I haven't used from forever. I'm getting rid of subscriptions that I don't use or haven't used very much. I'm just kind of getting the noise out of my life. And I thought, well, I wonder if there's some other options out there. But I found out that there was some other stuff out there that did everything I needed, and it was cheaper. So why not check it out? So as a Lightroom replacement, I found Raw Therapy, and it's free. And it does all of my color correction and everything that I use Lightroom for. So a free software that does everything I needed, okay, I'll check it out. I shoot in raw image format, and it processes raw just fine, which has the most color information in its file. And so that's why I use raw. And it does it for me. It does it for free. Seems like a no-brainer. And for my Photoshop replacement, I'm now using Affinity Photo. And it does all the layering. It's very similar to Adobe. And it cost me $55 one-time fee. I went from spending $120 a year, $10 a month, to a one-time fee of $55. And it does everything I need it to do. And I'm really happy with both of them. So let's talk about video processing and video editing software. Now, again, Adobe puts out a really good product called Adobe Premiere. And it costs about $20 a month, which is around $250 a year. But it's really made for professionals. And it's kind of a resource hog on my computer. And it's a pretty tough learning curve. So I was looking for something that was not quite professional level. The cost didn't bother me a whole lot, but I didn't want to spend more than I needed to on it. So I got PowerDirector by Cyberlink. It's PowerDirector 365. It's a subscription, and it cost me about $70 a year. And it has all the features that I needed. It's a really easy thing to learn. It has all kinds of free plugins and effects and transitions and all those things that I use. And it's not a big resource hog on the computer, which means I don't have to buy a big expensive computer to run this thing. So the option with Adobe Premiere was $250 a year, and I'm spending $70 a year for the Cyberlink PowerDirector. That's what, $180 savings a year, and I don't have to buy a big expensive computer. Yeah, it seemed like an easy decision to me, and I've been using it for quite a while, and I really like it. And there's plenty of other options out there for video processing. Go ahead and do your own research and figure out which one that you need for the kind of production level that you want to do. There's even free stuff out there if money is the bottom line for you. Now, audio processing and audio editing, that's a different story for me because I do a lot of other audio processing and editing for some other things that I do other than what I do on YouTube. I do need a little bit higher level audio production software for the other things that I do. So if you have a decent microphone on your camera or a lav mic that you use that connects to your camera, or you record it separately, and if that's a good enough quality for you, then you really don't need anything else other than what's in your video production software. For instance, PowerDirector has a pretty decent audio editor in there, so you can use that. I have a bunch of other software that I use, and I'll include the links down below, but so you may not need more than what you already have in your video production software. Now, background music is the other element that I use in my production of my YouTube videos. You don't have to have background music. To me, it adds that little extra element that makes it a little better quality that I like. You might not need it, you might not want it, no big deal. But keep in mind, if you do use background music, you need to lock in the licensing for the use of that. Now, I had a friend who had permission to use the music that he used on his YouTube channel, but the ownership of that changed over the years, and the licensing in different countries changed over the years, and YouTube took down his videos. So he had to reproduce them. Now with YouTube, if they take down your video, you can't go on YouTube and edit it and keep the same link. You have to delete it, you have to reproduce it, and re-upload it. So you lose all the algorithm advantages that you had, and all the views and all the viewing time. You lose all of that. So if you're going to use background music, be sure you lock in the licensing by using royalty-free music out there. Now, the reason I like to use Epidemic Sound is that it guarantees exclusively that you can use this music on YouTube for as long as you are paying for the licensing on this, and it's a monthly fee. If you're going to use any other service, and there's lots of them out there, make sure you read the fine print. If they're not guaranteeing that you can use this without any copyright claims on YouTube, then I would be a little bit suspicious. Now, I pay $15 a month for Epidemic Sound, but there's a free alternative on YouTube. You can actually use their YouTube audio library, which has about 2,000 songs and sound effects that you can use royalty free. So the total cost of the software that I use for my production on YouTube is about $250 a year. If I wanted to go with using just the YouTube audio library, it cuts it down to about $100 a year. Now, you can get even cheaper than that. There are free software out there that you can use for all of this. It just depends on what production level that you want. So that's it for the video today. I hope this is helpful. Now, what I'd like to see is your comments down below on what you use for your YouTube video production. There's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of different options. I just told you what I use because it's what I'm comfortable with. Do your research and get what makes you happy. That's all it's about. Have fun, and I'll see you next time on the trail.